I'm gonna take a lefty, and everyone's gonna hate me for taking him.
No, my
Oh,
last
he's
pick
gonna
was a
do it.
lefty.
He's gonna do it. I knew you were gonna take that. I had that on my list because it was a great pitch.
It was a really good pitch.
All right, welcome back to episode 133 of the Chaos Ball podcast. I'm here again for the second time ever with my brothers, my platoon bats. Actually, is I just theorized that right before they got on the Zoom call. My brother Sean is a lefty. My brother Tyler is a righty. I am Jerry DePoto, and I'm bringing in my platoon for this podcast because we need to talk about what the Mariners have just done in the month of April and a little bit month of March. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Rob Refsnyder, Bryce Miller, bullpen health check potentially, and then later in the show, stick around and we're going to do a fun little draft. Pitchers, starting pitchers from Mariners history, building a 5 pitch arsenal with their specific pitches. I'm excited about that one, but that'll come later in the show. Before we really get into things, you guys think the Mariners are good? Sean, are the Mariners a good baseball team?
Yes.
Bold, bold
Do you
take.
do you do you want me to expand or is that
No,
fine? Okay.
no. They finally made it up to 500. They're 16 and 16. It was a long way to get here, but they're here. Tyler, do you think the Mariners are good?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
30,
There's a consensus.
32, 32 games changes my opinion
It
in no
does.
way.
They still aren't
Yeah.
first in the division. The no name, no city athletics, as of this recording, because we're recording this Wednesday night, they're in the middle of a game with the Royals. The Mariners are still a half game back of them. Significant things from this month. I think they finally got themselves back on track. And I think the AOS sucks so much. That was massive in the Mariners slowly gaining traction as the month went on because the Astros are 11 and 19. The Angels are 12 and 20. After their yearly optimistic start, they're back to where they belong. The Rangers are 15 and 16, and the Mariners 16 16, Athletics 15 and 14. Any big takeaways from either of you from this month of ball that informs how you think this team is going to continue playing?
I mean, I think the main thing, Matthew, you said it, the AOS sucks. I think it's bad. I think the Angels are really bad. The Astros have an incredible offense, but their pitching is so bad, and I don't see how that turns around. So I don't think either of them are well, okay. I'm not going to say it that fully because I never want to count the Astros out. So I'm not going to finish the whole sentence. I mean, I think the Rangers are probably their biggest competition. I don't believe in the Athletics enough to think that they will pull it off. So I think it's probably the Rangers, but I don't think that that team is their pitching will be good enough. I don't think Rocker and Leiter will hold on, and DeGrom is always a ticking time bomb. So I think when we compare him to the rest of the division, I'm quite optimistic. Um, I mean, yeah, I think their pitching is going to hold as long as they're healthy, and that's you can't do much about that. And their hitting can only go up probably. So after they hit 500 end of April, I'm back in optimism flowing.
Yeah, I hope they never look back from being 500. Go above 500 this weekend and just stay there, please. Tyler, any other big takeaways you think from April? I feel like we generally are pretty good about not overreacting to things that happen in the month of April, but anything from your side before we talk at length about Rob Refsnyder?
uh, yeah, Refsnyder takes are hot. They're coming off the coals. I watch this team and wish they didn't make things so difficult sometimes. And based on Sean's point, the nice thing is the team has underperformed in so many ways, and they're 16 and 16. And I don't see better avenues for the other teams to get better. And I see our 2 through 5 hitters all below 700 OPS right now. And our pitching is still exactly what we expected. Could be better in some ways. I think the bullpen is a discussion we can have. But at the end of the day, Naylor, Raleigh, Julio are not going to be below 700 OPS the rest of the year. And they're 16 and 16. So, not worried. I think it's funny to watch this team, and they make me laugh and cry all the time. And it's exactly what I expect as a Mariners fan.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Yeah, Cal and Josh Naylor forgot how to hit baseballs for the first 2.5 weeks of the season.
I've never seen Naylor be this bad before.
Cal just took a couple weeks off after the WBC. I think
Yeah.
he was, yeah. And Julio, we knew Julio was going to do this. That wasn't a shock. Really, I mean, Luke Raley, Dominic Canzone, Brennan Donovan really carried them through the first half of the month, and then finally, Cal's hit a few home runs. Josh Naylor's back, fadeaway bat flipped on all over the Twins yesterday. And yeah, I think the fact that they've underperformed on paper on offense and are still here is a good sign. And yeah, the pitching staff's been kind of, I feel like, yeah, exactly what we've expected. The Emerson Hancock breakout was not what we expected, but we weren't expecting him in the rotation at all. So the big topic at the start of the year where they were kind of floundering, everyone knew Julio was going to be bad. People were angry at that. You'll always get angry at that. Yeah, Cal was unexpected. Josh was unexpected. But then Rob Refsnyder, the new platoon signing of Jerry Dipoto this year, after many attempts at doing this the past few years, he signs what appears to be the most foolproof right-handed platoon bat signing of his tenure. I mean, people brought up like AJ Pollock's name when Refsnyder was floundering, and I was like, that's disrespectful to Rob Refsnyder, first of all. But I think people hate platoons in general, and Refsnyder going, I think, over 19 to begin his Mariners career didn't help people's acceptance of platoons. But now that he's kind of started to hit like himself, I hope people are seeing the light. But do you think platoons are do you think it's a valuable thing? Like, I don't think they're too platoon heavy, but people just want to ban them entirely from the sport, basically. And Dipoto kind of likes to do it. So, do you think sustainably this is actually going to be good the rest of the year? Do you think platoons should be outlawed? Sean.
First, I would say Refsnyder. Have you checked out his BABIP? I looked at that
Yeah.
before coming on.
Yeah.
111.
Not good.
111. That's wild. So, I mean, it's only going to get better, I think, for him. So I think he's going to do what he can do. He just had a rough start. You can't be worse than AJ Pollock, so it can only be better. For platoons, it's tough. I think my pessimistic take on platoons is it's what you do when your owners are very cheap, because you're not going to pay for a player that can do both. So you're going to try and cobble up some scraps of this guy can hit lefties, this guy can hit righties, and therefore you have all these platoons. I don't really like it because you're taking up all these roster spots for guys that can only be in there for certain situations, but it's fun in the sense it's strategic. That's cool. But here's this. I think this happened in a game recently. You bring a guy in, like I think like fifth inning or something, to hit, one at bat against a lefty, and then they're gonna take that guy out, and now you've blown through your entire bench by the time you get to the end of the game, and you've got no one else to do that. And I've always thought, like, for these guys that come in for that one plate appearance, and you strike out. This is what Refsnyder, I think, was talking about. Like, it's tough. It's tough because you don't have another shot. It's all you get. And so it's got to be really hard. So, I mean, I don't particularly like platoons, but it's what this team kind of has to do. I think it can work, but I think it's very fragile. But I think for the team situation, they're not spending enough to try and get a guy that can do both things. They're not going to get another, all around bat. So it is what it is for them.
I think where a lot of people are frustrated is that situation where you take a guy out too early in the game and then you have to just play bench bats the rest of the game. I think the platoon usage comes down to the manager actually employing them correctly as
Yep.
well. And I think that's where a lot of the anger lies is when Dan or, insert manager's name here does something too early and then he's stuck with Rob Refsnyder in the leadoff spot against a righty in the eighth and doesn't know what to do. Tyler, I feel like you have a take on platoons.
I platoons are such a like ingrained part of the game that what are we doing complaining about this? The fact is the Mariners just never get it right. They don't get the luck because Ref Snyder going 0 for 19 is farcical. You couldn't actually predict that. That's not realistic at all. Platoons are part of every team in the league, and anyone complaining about them doesn't watch enough baseball, and I don't want to hear their complaints. That's what I think. I think Dan, is he qualified to make these decisions, is a good question. Ref Snyder leading off actually doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, you need him to get the at bats against lefties, and if you put if you actually pinch hit him at the top of the lineup, you can't predict like what's going to happen in the later innings. So I think anyone complaining about this needs to go actually watch the game.
They are everywhere. I think it's analytics creep gets to people in that way because platoons do kind of feel like they feel
And
like
here's
a money ball nerd thing.
it is a money ball nerd thing, but also like you only have 4 bench slots. So you need
Yeah.
let's rates and barrels the podcast. Build a bench. You need a backup catcher. You need an infielder who can cover multiple positions. And so you only have so many positions to actually pinch hit for guys. If MLB wanted to make the game better, they would say, hey, we don't need 13 pitching slots. We only need 10. We only need 11, like whatever it is. And then actually people would be like, oh, platoons aren't such a bad thing. But the fact is, all the relievers are incredible. So then you just have so many at bats where these guys are just overmatched. So it's actually a structure of the game that needs to be fixed that won't be fixed without a CBA. So anyone complaining about this, it's one, they are too inside baseball where they're like, oh, these players are bad, because most casual fans don't actually know what platoon means. That's the other thing. They don't actually know what it means. So, uh, yeah, if you want to change the game and make it better, we need to have huge structural changes. So, anyone complaining about platoons, um, I don't want to hear from them because they're probably the worst people to talk to at a bar.
I think, yeah, it comes a lot from the internet for sure. People are very involved with watching the team and know what platoons are on the internet. Very different from real life. It just makes Rob Refsnyder makes so much sense for the team. I think what you said about the results not being there is why most people complain about anything with their sports team, baseball especially, because like Mitch Garver was signed as backup catcher slash like guy who was going to crush lefties as the DH, and he didn't really do that. Didn't get off to the right foot with the team in that first season. So I think when it doesn't work, when you see a guy get pinch hit and just whiff all the time, you're going to notice that a lot more. But then when you look at Luke Raley versus left-handed pitching in his career, you don't want him facing lefties very often. So yeah, it's everywhere. And also, this Mariners team is maybe the least platoon reliant Dipoto team of at least in this like half decade of them being competitive. Like this is the most everyday players they've had on this team. When you have Brendan Donovan back in play, it's really just right field and DH maybe, or your only like platoon areas. Like it's not like you're needing platoons at second base, third base. right field, left field, like they almost were last season. Yeah, the complaining is fun. But now that Refsnyder ABS'd correctly and hit a home run to go ahead against the Cardinals, I hope people can buy into Ref because he's legitimately been, I think him and Aaron Judge have been the best hitters against left-handed pitching the past like 4 seasons or something like that.
That's insane.
It's
I know that's true, and it still makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, he was also hitting at Fenway, to be fair. That helps, but when you look at, you know, park adjusted stats, it still rings true. I think Shohei and or Jordan are on there too, even though they're lefties, just because they're unreal. But Ref is on there, in the top 10, top five at least. So, and it was like,
It's 20 plate appearances.
yeah,
Like,
and it was
Yeah,
that's also the problem with like a
he's only had
right-handed.
42, so the whole
yeah,
season.
That's only the problem. That's the problem with right-handed platoons, I think, is because they do just get less opportunities. So if they're bad for a 19 plate appearance stretch like he was, shows up a lot more on the stat sheet.
well, at
Tyler, I
least he
think
has
what you're
his
saying
own
about like the bench aspect of it makes me think so much more about like you do need all these guys to have a very specific purpose, right? You have your guy that's going to hit the righty, you have your guy that's going to hit the lefty, and you have to hope that you put him in at the most opportune moment to do something. And I think that what you're saying about like I mean obviously we all listen to Effectively Wild and they've always talked well Ben has always talked about limiting the pitchers, right? The amount of pitchers. Because now when you're a platoon bat and you come in, there's a lot more opportunities for that bullpen to then, give that switch a guy out too, right? Because they have more arms. And so if they were to limit the amount of pitchers, then they have to keep guys in longer to face more bats, and so you may have more opportunities. So I think it is definitely an imbalance between how many position players you get to have and how many pitchers they get to have too.
Yeah, the pitcher limits is interesting because they tried to help this a little bit with the three batter minimum, but when the inning is ends or anything, it's way easier to counter platoons with pitchers, and they have more pitchers to counter your 2, 3 bench bats with throughout the course of a game. So that's where we stand, and that's where I stand on platoons. I'm pro mostly, unless they're
yeah, and
bad.
this Mariners team, to your point, Matthew, and all of us, we're surrounding this and we can move on. But this Mariners team is so less reliant on platoons making them good. We just actually need our good players to be good. Like
Yes.
this is right now the first month of the season. Our good players have not hit. That's the problem. It's not because Rob Refsnyder started poorly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
It's everyone else. Yeah.
yeah,
It's trying to squeeze the value on the margins is really nice when your 1 through 6 guys are crushing like they should be. But
yeah, and like
when they're not, it's tough.
2 years ago, the D-backs missed the playoffs and they had like 88 or 89 wins, and they had Jock Peterson and Randall Grichuk, like with one of the greatest platoon seasons of all time.
Yeah.
Um, like if you get it right, it's amazing. But when you're dealing with sample sizes like that, it's still baseball. Like literally,
Yeah.
I mean, Ildemaro Vargas, we were talking about it before, is what? Like the best hitter on the D-backs, basically. Do we believe that that's true? No.
You don't
Like,
think Ildemaro Vargas is the best player on the D-backs?
yeah,
That's all right.
that's how I feel about it.
I
I
had that
just
on
think
my do not say list on the podcast. How dare you?
okay, yeah, we can move on. I think people only watch their own teams, and that's also tough when you get online. It's just like they're just angry about their own teams, and it's just like I'm watching other teams too, and every single team has the same complaints. Our bullpen sucks. Our bench hitters come off and don't do anything. Our star hitters don't come through in the clutch. Oh, maybe that's just how baseball is.
I see Dodgers fans complaining about their bullpen too, and that's
Oh,
rich.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
rich.
great.
So, yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
Well, they just lost a series to the Marlins,
They
so
did.
they must be
yeah.
very very upset.
They probably won't win the World Series this year.
Ooh, bold. But a reason the Mariners are in the spot that they are is an unlikely hero in the rotation, Emerson Hancock. It's not only him, however, his ascendance to viable starting pitcher is kind of insane. Don't need to get into the mechanical tweaks and what he's really done with himself, but he's now looking, if you ignore the peripherals a little bit, like an actually viable number five starting pitcher. Bryce Miller is supposed to come back mid to late April is the timeline. So I think we're looking at another 2 to 3 turns through the rotation until he's back, which means another 2 or 3 Luis Castillo and Emerson Hancock starts. I think the organization is likely heavily looking at Emerson Hancock under a microscope for every single start before Bryce Miller's back. But if he keeps pitching like this and Luis Castillo keeps pitching like this and the rest of the rotation is what it is, what what are they gonna do when Bryce Miller comes back? It would almost be a disservice to Emerson to just demote him if he's continuing to pitch like he is. I know a lot of fans want Luis Castillo to be the one to get the axe, but that's simply not going to happen this early in the season. He's owed too much money. What do you think their best course of action is with Bryce Miller?
Oh boy. So Matt Brash went off injured today. I think Bryce can come up, and are we sure he's going to be able to have a full workload immediately? Like, can he come up and be piggybacked in a way?
I think they would want to start him, but to your point, yeah, is it okay to piggyback him with Emerson Hancock?
I don't think it is. You can't Castillo's contract, like, you can't get rid of him. This is the toughest question on the list today, Matthew.
I've thought about it for days now, and I really don't know what they're gonna do. And I think it very much depends on how Emerson Hancock looks in these next couple starts. Like if he, despite how good he has looked in April, if he has 2 very mediocre starts the next 2 times out, wouldn't be shocked if they just demote him. Depending, I mean, they could throw him in the bullpen again if they want to. I just don't think they want to do that with him again.
So Bryce's last start seems like he looked decent from what I heard.
Yeah, he was pumping upper 90s at least.
I think, unfortunately, for Mr. Hancock, I don't think he gets demoted. I think that, so I'm looking at their May schedule. They have 3 Thursday off days. Could they go to a 6-man rotation?
That is the other option. Yeah, they could.
And I think also the reason I'm saying that is because there is a stretch there where they have 13 games in a row. The first 7 are on the road. Could they get creative with the 40 man and do something like that where they, sit Luis down? Do we need him to pitch in Houston in mid-May? Um, I don't want Luis pitching anywhere outside of T-Mobile most of the year. I'm just thinking because Hancock's changes actually look real to me. I think Bryce still has a lot to give, and I don't trust most of our bullpen, especially if Brash is hurt. I think you need bulk, and I think the pitching staff has been together for long enough now where they can come together and be like, look, this is what we're going to do. Bryce, Emerson, you guys are lowest on the pecking order. I think this is where, like, how good is the culture actually? And at the end of the day, what's going to happen is someone's going to get hurt.
No, no, no.
That's how this mostly goes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we need to do this without assumptions of injury because yes, it may happen, but what will they do if it doesn't happen? Maybe Brash is fine, you know?
They said discomfort and minor, and Brash said he feels fine, which doesn't mean he's not going to end up on the IL. But
Yeah. I don't have too much to add here. I personally think a six-man would be great for them to do for the month of May. Well, when Bryce comes back. But I think realistically, what they will probably end up pushing Hancock into the bullpen just as long relief because I feel like this team needs that right now. No one's really doing that right now or has been asked to,
yeah, Cooper Criswell has not been asked to go more than two
which
yet.
has been odd to me. Why has he not been going longer?
Yeah, he's your guy to go 3+ out
Yeah.
of the pen and just hasn't done that.
Yeah.
I think it's hard
I
to do. I think
it's
it's really hard to
it's
do.
it is tough. It's easy to say. I think the problem with the 6-man rotation is I have right now almost no faith in Logan Gilbert to work deep into a ball game.
I agree.
And same with Luis Castillo. And that is the problem with it's like you call up Bryce, you have to send a reliever down because they're at their 13 pitcher limit. And so you lose a reliever and now I have no issues with Brian Wu and George Kirby working deep in the ball games. But the other three, it's like I just have no idea. That's a lot of innings for Cooper Criswell. My mind immediately goes to Bizardo again, having to cover way too many innings at the start of the season. I just don't know if they're equipped to do the 6-man rotation with the way some like these guys are pitching right now. And maybe it is as simple as saying, Hancock, you're in the pen again, being the long man. And to your point, Tyler, how good is the culture? If it's great, Hancock would be like, sure, I will do whatever you need me to do. I will eat as many innings as you need me to eat in the bullpen, and they can send Cole Wilcox back down, and that's how they can do it. I feel like it's going to be a game time decision for them because, to your point, yeah, there's not really a good solution. It's a good problem to have that Emerson Hancock looks like this.
Yeah, I mean Hancock being this good this year is one of the most unexpected things I've ever seen. Like he dropped his arm slot. I don't know how many degrees again.
I think it was 5.
5. I mean, he looks like a legit like 3 or 4 starter now.
Yeah, and he dropped his arm slot, and I forget who wrote about this at Fangraphs, but he became a supinator.
Or he's
he was a low slot pronator prior,
yeah,
and he just changed how he threw to be a
which is
low
not
slot supinator.
which is not normal.
No, it's insane, and that's why his
Yeah.
sweeper looks so good, and his fastball arm side looks great because he just changed how the ball comes out of his hand, and it's like that
Yeah.
is insane. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I good for him, good for him. But also like I don't know what you do. I think this is a tough call, and I think I want more arms in the pen that can throw innings. And the fact that Legamine is gone, sorry, but when you're on a team, a roster of 26 people, there are tough decisions, and someone's gonna have to suck it up. I think that's what it's gonna come down to.
Yeah, I think the obvious. Yeah, I think the easiest answer is Hancock to the pen. I think a 6-man rotation is fun, but
Yeah.
what I also think could happen is Luis Castillo gets shit pumped in the month of May, and they send him to the IL with some type of arm discomfort of some kind.
Yeah,
One of those fake IL stints, so Bryce can come back, have 3 starts, and they just kick the can down the road of having to actually make a decision.
Yeah.
he has. Yeah,
That is
he has like lower body discomfort,
So
and
he has some type of discomfort.
yeah,
that seems very likely, Matthew. So
Yeah, it's just I hope he doesn't, because it's really sad. The start in Minnesota really upset me deeply, having to watch him throw 92-mile-an-hour fastballs. I
yeah.
it was very cold. He doesn't quite ramp up the full velocity every season. He does this in like June, July, but even then, that made me so that shook me to my core watching him do that.
I want to believe in Hancock, but his peripherals also don't look as good as he's been. They're better than they were, so that's very
Yeah.
promising. So that's good. And I mean, as a fifth guy, I think the peripherals are in line with that. But he does have, I don't know how much this plays into it, the numbers and stuff, but his left on base percentage is 95, which is something. Uh,
Insane.
Yeah, that's not sustainable.
No,
no.
no. His
I
yeah,
did want I
his
did want to ask you guys though, if unless you have something else to say about Hancock, but I had questions about the rest of the rotation.
I
I
had
know we
one
don't
more
have a
thing
ton
to
of
say.
time, but
I had one more thing to say about Hancock. His FIP is 4.6, which is high because his ERA is 2.86. But his Sierra is 3.35. So I think there's hope with the Sierra, and I'm a Sierra truther. And it also
we take that one.
his home run per nine is 1.82, and there's so much noise in that stat, and 1.82 is absurdly high. So, but also the left on base is high. So I think he nets out at like a 4, and we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing we're spoiled because like we're talking about our sixth starter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um you are a Ruben Sierra truther. You're not even old enough to remember Ruben Sierra. So
No, I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
Is that who the stat's named after?
It is not, but yeah.
John, what do you have to say about the rotation?
Well, I just had a question,
Mhm.
and maybe this is normal because I don't typically look at stuff this early for like K percentages, but they're Kirby and Logan, they're down. Their
Yeah.
strikeouts. Do you think like they're ramping up and it's gonna change? Do you think what do you think it has to do with? Like, do you possibly think like I think with Kirby, I was wondering if it has anything to do with ABS or if I just like trying to put something together there because he likes to like get on those corners and he's very good at it, but like now if he misses, it's a miss, you know?
I'll let you talk, Tyler.
Oh, I mean, all of this is going to be speculation for me because one of the things I pulled up before this is all right. So in the last 5 years, and basically for all of Major League history, walk rates stayed the same. It's always between 8 and 9%. So 2022 is 8.2%, 2023 is 8.6%, 2024 is 8.2%, 2025 is 8.4%. Can you guys guess what 2026 is so far in the first month of the season?
I purely based on AAA ABS numbers from the last few seasons, I think it's like a 1.5% increase. So I'm going to just go with an even 10.
Okay. Sean, what do you think?
9.2.
Yeah, it's 9.6. It's literally up 1.5%.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I think so. Logan, I have some different thoughts on. I think Kirby, to your point, Sean, is probably just like, I am just going to not think I'm going to walk people because I have challenges. And the rest of the league is up 1.5%. That is crazy. That is
yeah,
a huge increase.
yeah. League wide, that's insane.
That's insane for league wide. I think Logan, his command's always been good, but I'm concerned about Logan more. I think Kirby's just saying screw it. Like, I'm not going to strike guys out. Like, and I have good command, and now I can actually get challenges. That's my take on it. But I was looking at that, and I could not believe it was 1.5% above last year.
Yeah, it was a pretty healthy increase in AAA. I didn't know how it was going to translate to the majors, but yeah, that's a lot.
But there's been no major league seasons above
No.
9%, like ever.
Manfred's League wants walks instead of hits. Ugh.
Like I think Kirby is like well made for this, and Gilbert I actually just think I'm just like he had that injury, that flexor strain last year. I just am worried like about Gilbert in general.
I'm worried about Logan as well. I was gonna say that, and I have no basis for it. I haven't really looked at his deep dived in his stuff, but I'm worried just the eye test Kirby is just oddly going about his business differently this year. He's getting a lot more ground balls and a lot more chase, but a lot less whiff than he did last year.
Yeah.
So he's just, I think it's just a strategy thing for him. And I don't know if it's going to change, but he's walking more guys too. I think he's doing the thing I've been wanting him to do for years and live outside of the zone more. And guys are chasing, but I think his like I don't know, guys don't whiff on his fastball, and he's throwing the fastball a lot and just getting a lot of ground balls. So yeah, Kirby, I'm less worried about. Logan, yeah, Logan's tough. I don't know what. I hate seeing him not work until like the sixth inning anymore. That's upsetting.
I think it's hard to watch Logan aesthetically too because he just looks so sad all the time. Like his face is like a sad puppy dog.
Yeah,
And
he does have a sad demeanor out there.
yeah, and uh he just looks like he's trying so hard all the time. And Kirby just looks annoyed that he's out there. He's like, "Do I really have to keep pitching to these people? Like they're beneath."
Yeah, he's an actually kind of an evil pitcher. He hates the hitters. He's
Yeah.
disgusted by them
Yeah.
and their presence in the box and them making contact with him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to you know what? We can talk about the bullpen, but we did just talk about the pitching a while. I'm going to leave the bullpen chat for maybe later this month in an effort to get a little bit more of a sample size to see if Hoppy's any good and to, hopefully Matt Brash is okay. Jose Ferrer is having a deeply, deeply hilarious season, though, so far. It's looking very much like him and Bizardo are the workhorses, and my dream has come true, and Ferrer's become lefty Carlos Vargas, but just better in every way, almost. But I want to talk about JP and Colt Emerson for a second before we get into our game.
No, Matthew, why?
Because I don't know how long I can keep watching ground balls go to him. It fills me with angst every time a ground ball goes to him. Because even if he fields it cleanly, I don't know where the throw is going. I have no idea where the throw is going. He's still fine at the plate. He's now doing I think he's finally over 100 WRC plus after he was injured to start the year. Uh the home run yesterday looked good. He's walking. He's not striking out. He's doing the JP things at the plate. How much longer can we do this at shortstop though? Like at what point is there action needed to be taken?
Sean, can you take this one?
Um, I think he has a long leash, honestly.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think Emerson, with his whatever's going on with his wrist, right? I didn't even see if he was back in or not, but
He is.
okay. Well, I think they're gonna let JP keep going. I think he's also not the only problem defensively. They've just been bad out there.
They have been really bad.
All of them, except for Cole Young, I think.
Yeah, Cole Young, DRS has loved him. OAA is more tepid. But he hasn't been a negative at all. And DRS, he's like one of the top. I think he's the top second baseman in defense runs saved this year so far.
So I think, yeah, it's tough to watch, but I mean, he is doing what he needs to do with the bat, to stay relevant. Um, I think if he was the only one doing particularly poorly defensively, then it would maybe stand out more. It is your shortstop, so that does suck. But I have been very disappointed in like everybody defensively. The only people are Cal, obviously, and Koi Young that I've been, you know, happy with out there.
Yeah, even Julio's had a couple wonky misses this season. He's still great. He's not the problem.
No.
But I feel like we knew the defense was going to be bad going into the year, and it somehow like looked worse. I think a lot of their losses in April in those one-run games had an error or two wrapped up in them, and that's always like they were just sloppy. Maybe I'm not being fair to JP. He has a long leash. He's on a decent amount of money deal, and he's not a net negative at the plate. Which, yeah, they're gonna give him a leash. But at what point do you just ask him about like third base. The problem is I don't know where he moves to if they want to move him.
So we have so we have Brendan Donovan here, right?
Yeah, who's not a good third baseman,
No,
but you need him in the lineup every day.
you need him in the lineup. Here's my question. Why do you sign him to an extension and not call him up immediately? This is the weirdest shit. They signed him to a huge extension and he's not called up.
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the surplus value they're going to get at the end of the contract, Tyler. You know exactly why. And obviously, PR wise, I'm sure a lot of the team wanted to promote him immediately after the extension. Like that's the cultural win. But
Yeah.
you
I
know the
just
main aim and what Jerry Dipoto really wants to say to the media, and it's the surplus value in dollar per win they're going to get on this deal.
I know. I know. I love surplus value. Like I go to bed every night thinking about surplus value in my day. Like how
I
did I get surplus value?
I go to the ballpark with my calculator because I want them to have the lowest dollars per win
Right.
in the league.
Yeah. I just think it's so weird that they signed Colt Emerson to one of the biggest contracts for an extension of all time. And they're like, yeah, you're still going to hang out in the 253. Like, no disrespect to Tacoma. I'm sorry. But what are we doing? Like, really? Like, you guys just didn't have leverage to, like, tell him no, you don't have an extension? Like, have a whole season in AAA where you don't have an injury? Like, what? I I feel like the hot take artist tonight, but it's so weird. It's so weird to me that he's just down there and he's got $130 million on his contract. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Yeah. I
bizarre.
mean,
Eight
do,
million dollar signing bonus.
Yeah.
is there, I mean, so when was his extension? Because all those other top prospects have been getting their extensions, right? Is this just like Mariners thinking they need to hop on that
His
extend your
was
top
before Connor
prospect
Griffin.
train, or his was before them,
It
right? The
was
other guys?
after the Brewers. I'm name is escaping me, but it was after the Brewers extension for their shortstop for like $50 million.
Oh, it was after. Yeah, I
Well, that's
can't
another
remember.
weird one, but
Yeah, we
Oh,
won't talk about that one.
Cooper Pratt.
Yes,
yeah,
it
that was an
was,
odd one too. But
but it was before Kevin McGonigal and
It was
Connor Griffin.
before Connor Griffin. Yeah,
yeah,
and both of those guys literally are up in the majors now.
Yeah,
And the Mariners
McGonigal.
are just like, you can go down and like see some D3 Puget Sound Loggers games on your days off. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's so weird to me.
It is odd, and I wonder how long the extension was in the works because there was a clear avenue to playing time for him before they acquired Donovan, and it's
Right.
possible that they were just waiting that out and were okay with not acquiring him, and maybe had the extension on their this. I mean, it's complicated enough. I think they drew this up at some point in the offseason. So maybe the Donovan deal was the thing that like, you know what, whatever, we're gonna do both. I guess. Cole
Yeah, the
Young
J
being great has also affected it. They're not worried about him.
No, it's a good problem to have. The JP question is like he's done after this year, right? Like he's this is his last season on his
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
And he's such a like leader for the team, etc. I just like you have room for all of these guys. And to your defensive points, like JP, like just hang out at third, Donovan BDH. Like it's not ideal for their skill sets, but like if you think you're gonna sign a guy to an 8-year extension or whatever it was, he should probably be playing shortstop.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. It's simple. And like I think defensively he's ready, which is why I and a lot of other people are just like it's tough to watch JP because every day we see a highlight of Emerson. It's like, yeah, he looks like legitimately ready. He may not be ready at the plate. I think it's entirely possible the Mariners are just like, no, he's not ready, which is fair. He has like a 26% strikeout rate in the PCL, which could be better. Um, like a 109 WRC plus in the PCL too, which I would love that to be better. But to your point, he could potentially just be a 3 WAR shortstop right now. Defensively, come up and just be a good defender at short. I in the offseason, I was worried about whose playing time would get affected by this because if you move JP to third, which would probably be ideal for him because he has no range anymore, you play Colt at shortstop. Donovan can't play second over Cole Young right now, but he can DH or play right field. But then you have 3 lefties to do that job. And so Rayleigh and Canzone, one of them has to suffer from this, and they're both hitting the ball so well right now. It's good problem to have. I singled out Luke Rayleigh early in the offseason as like I can see him losing the playing time here. But I don't know what they do. Because he's $1 million deal this year with an $8 million signing bonus. Yeah, in Cheney living.
What do you think about trading Randy?
I'm open to it. I think that's on the table. I think also I think Rayleigh or Canzone could be traded too. That would make sense to me. But Randy, yeah, he's just been playing so well.
His value will never be higher.
Yeah, and I don't see them extending him.
No, and also there's some questions about his decisions on the
Oh yeah.
field sometimes.
Yeah, he's that type of player. He's kind of a he's like Russell Westbrook in that way. You know, you live by Randy, you die by Randy. Sometimes you hate him. Even Julio and him had a disagreement on the field today.
Yeah, that was weird. That was
He's
completely Julio's call too. So
I
he
think he and Julio have that like once a week now.
yeah, and Randy's stubborn as hell. Like that's part of what he is. Unfortunately, he's been one of their best hitters, and so that would be tough. But
That is one of the funny things is like at the end of last season he sucked. Like I
yeah,
don't know if he was hurt, and then the playoffs he didn't really hit well either. And then this year everyone started off slow and Randy's hitting well, so it's
yeah.
like
After the
okay.
WBC shit too, he just came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna hit."
I
now
just think
here's
that's the guy that you try to trade.
Yeah, it makes
now
sense.
stick with me with this for a second. This is purely speculation, but with Matthew, as you so aptly named, the WBC shit, locker room issues. Randy seems to have some stuff going on with multiple people, maybe speculating. And JP being a leader, you know, how much do you think it plays him being a leader in the locker room? Or like because of the early, WBC stuff, did they like, hey, we got to have JP in there to help this team out behind the scenes, come together as a team, can't get rid of him, can't make him angry. Do you think that has anything going on there? Or am I just like coming up with something?
I think that was like a cherry on top of them keeping JP and what might not be a delicious Sunday, but it's ice cream nonetheless, which is how I view JP at this point. It's because I think the $9 million salary, I think, is also where it is, where the Mariners are not the type of team to just say, we're not going to try to put the $9 million guy on the field. Like, I think
They're not just gonna eat that.
they're not the type of team to do that. Maybe they do it in the middle of the season. I think they're at the point where they are willing to do that. But before the season, I think the $9 million, or even he might even be making more. I might be talking out of my ass, but I think the salary played into it, and I think the leadership is a real thing. He's the longest tenured Mariner. He's one of the veterans in an otherwise fairly young ish team. So I think there's merits to that where he's a glue guy, and that's also the reason you don't just want to discard him quickly.
Yeah.
And they want to probably handle that as delicately as possible because that could totally disrupt things. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I think JP ends up playing third base at some point this year because they're just gonna have to call up Emerson. I think it. Yeah, before the extension, it was like if he's not scorching in AAA, I'm okay with him being down there still. But with the extension, yeah, it doesn't make sense to just have him sit there for more than 2, 3 months.
It has to be so weird for all the people in AAA too. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
so weird. Like
yeah. He's next to like Brennan Davis
all
and Jonathan Diaz in that locker room. You know.
right, Matthew.
Uh,
I want to get to the main
yeah,
thing on the rundown.
let's do it.
Because basically this is a I don't want this to be a sickos thing, but I was so curious to know how you guys like thought about this.
Oh
So
yeah. All right, let's do it. But one more thing before we transition to that. The Mariners are currently 29th in baseball and outs above average as a team, negative 12.
Whew.
Tigers,
29.
the Tigers are negative 16 outs
Oh,
above
that's good.
average.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not last.
Uh,
But yeah,
So
Sean, to your
so
point, Colt Emerson replacing JP at short is not going to fix
so
that.
so Matthew, who's like doing the most work on that? Like who's the worst
Let's see.
fielder?
Let's pull up the Mariners. I'd be willing to bet it's JP because
Because
he
he's
gets the most he
shortstop.
gets the most
It's
opportunities.
shortstop, but Donovan was quite terrible
He
out
eye
there.
test wise, he looked so bad. It's Brendan Donovan actually. Yeah, I'm a negative 4. And Julio and JP both have -3 outs above average. I
But
think
Brendan but
I think
Brendan Donovan backs the blue. So
true.
we should actually like that's not actually negative, and
Yeah.
we should not
And
think that
he's
that's wrong.
he's a contact hitter
Yeah.
too. So very ethical ball.
Yeah. No, Brendan
Um
Donovan needs to get back healthy and actually be good. Otherwise, I'm gonna run him out of town.
he was doing everything at the plate you could ask for. I think he still leads the team in WRC
I
plus.
know, and that's the problem. He's a very good player.
Yeah, he's unfortunately a very steadily consistent good ball player.
Yeah.
Julio -3 is shocking, but I think I'd be willing to bet he ends up being a good fielder by year's end. He's earned that benefit of the doubt. All right, let's get to the draft. Let's run through these rules really quick. I've talked to you guys a little bit about this, but we're doing a 5 pitch Arsenal draft from Mariners starting pitchers. I thought about doing all pitchers, but when you bring in relievers, that's too many pitchers and too many good pitches involved, frankly, with how relievers have gotten. So no Matt Brash sliders for anyone in this draft. But the rules 5 pitches, once a pitch from a particular pitcher is chosen, that pitcher is off the board for everyone else. So,
One pitch per
uh-huh.
pitcher for everybody, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run out of
Yeah.
pitches.
You need to we can do two.
I,
We can we
I
can
need
we
to
can
dive deeper.
I we can do two. Two
No,
also
one
works.
pitch. I've done my deep dive.
I've done a deep enough dive.
Oh dear.
Sean, I'll give you extra
Sean,
time.
Sean, you can't even dive deep into your Jose Paniagua bag. He was a reliever.
I will when I run out, which will happen fast now, because I thought it was one pitch per pitcher per person. I will go based off vibes from what I've seen, and so we'll see.
That's fine. That's fine. Really, I mean, listen, a lot of these guys are 21st century. I mean, the Mariners did not have a ton of great players before the 90s, and a lot of the great players in the 90s were hitters. But
Also, Matthew, you weren't born until 2000. So,
I remember these guys. I remember Gaylord Perry's spitball. All right, I was there for it. No, I googled things. I went back and saw pitch arsenals, but yeah, luckily a lot of the great pitching from Mariners history has been in the last 20 years, so that does help. Other rule: you have to take at least one fastball, one off speed, and one breaking pitch, and also not a hard rule, but this is a Mariners pitchers draft, and so like Gaylord Perry is a great example. You can take Gaylord Perry's spitball, but that's for when he was like 42 for one season on the Mariners. So it's not like you're getting his entire career's worth of his famous spitball. So keep that in mind before you take. I don't even know who would fall into that bucket of other pitchers who was washed on the Mariners.
Kevin Millwood.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, see, you probably none of his arsenal from his time with the Mariners you want, but maybe
Definitely
I'm
not.
wrong.
Although he did have a combined no hitter. So
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen and randomize this order. And we're gonna do a snake because that's the most honorable way to draft, in my opinion. Let me share my screen for the audio listeners. Riveting, riveting. Can you guys see it? Can you see my
yeah.
random.org here? Okay, I'm gonna randomize.
Okay.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh, look at that. All
Sean
right.
gets. I mean, Sean, you're on the turn though. I'm two.
Yeah. So Sean is third, Tyler second. I have the first pick.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get one from either of the top two pitchers in Mariners history, so it's over.
I don't know.
We'll see how this pans out.
How much of a deep dive have you done on Joel Pinheiro?
Oh, I did look into Joel Pinheiro.
As
There
you
you
should.
go.
He might have to come up in this draft.
I know.
There's going to be 15 pitchers on here, and one of them might be Joel Pinheiro.
I found a lack of effective breaking balls in Mariners history. So
Yeah,
I
agreed.
also found that. Okay. Well, I'm just going to get this one off the board. I'm really tempted to take a pitch from my favorite baseball player of all time, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Randy Johnson's slider with my number one overall.
Oh, okay. I mean,
there it goes. There it goes. That was my number one.
Yeah, I think it's a consensus top three pitch in the history of the sport, frankly. I don't know what the pitch data now would. I don't know what the woke analytics would say about it now, but I know back then it was real effective.
I think today it would be really effective. So here's the thing. I have the number 2 pick. I am only going to go right-handers now. So if I didn't have the number 1 pick, I would have done all lefty. But now that you took Randy's slider, I'm out. Can't do it. So I have a full lefty lineup, and I have 3 righty lineups.
Good Lord.
Why?
Okay.
Why are you doing this?
Jesus.
So my first pick is Felix's changeup.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are the clear top two pitches available on the
That
board.
was my second choice.
Yeah, I think those are easily the best two pitches here. Easily identifiable.
And prior to the, me understanding the rules better, my next choice was Randy's fastball, so that's off the list as well.
Unfortunately, yes.
There goes the rest of Felix's arsenal, which I just wanted to draft all of. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
that's what I was preventing. I was preventing this from being a Randy Felix first 3 rounds, basically.
I get it.
I get it. Randy Felix would have been great. Yeah,
it worked.
Okay. I guess I don't have numbers on this, but I'm gonna go with Jamie Moyer's changeup.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't remember what speed he was throwing his fastball change at the end, but what was his fastball by the time he was done? Did he hit 80?
It had to have been 84 miles an hour.
Jamie Moyer is never gonna happen again.
No. Yeah, he was averaging 83 miles an hour on that pitch. By the time he was 49, it was like almost 78, 79.
Yeah, well, by the time he was 49.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
what a guy.
Him and Satchel Paige, who have pitched like well into their 40s. and should
I
have
mean,
pitched.
Jamie Moore was incredible. Like, just you,
Is he the craftiest lefty of all
he
time?
is the ultimate crafty lefty. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
Sean.
he's he's what Jeff Suppan wished he was,
Yeah.
and Jeff Suppan was righty, and that's why he couldn't do it.
Okay. Because I don't think there's too many more options for breaking ball,
I'm worried about that.
I'm gonna go with Logan Gilbert Slider.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing Logan Slider, okay?
Yes. I think there were some other slider options, but I'm just gonna knock Logan off of the list for everybody. So
It's tough. He has a lot of pitches that are good. The splitter is off the board.
yes. I guess how are we breaking down the 5 pitch arsenal into pitch type? Obviously,
Well,
fastball,
fastball,
breaking ball, and
like
off speed.
yeah. So breaking ball is slider, sweeper, curveball.
Yes.
Um, Off speed would be splitter, changeup,
Yeah.
fork ball, Vulcan changeup, whatever you want.
Kick change.
There you go. Yeah.
That could come up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tyler, your second pick.
All right. So if I'm going to be beholden to all righties, I think I have one specific one I need to take right now, and it's Bryce Miller's 2024 fastball.
Okay, this is Bryce Miller's fastball forever, by the way. But we're also operating like best of this pitch.
Yeah.
When he was with the Mariners. Yeah, that was high on my fastball list. Oh God, I got 2 picks now.
I was looking, actually, it's interesting with Mariners pitchers. There aren't that many guys with four seams that actually like get it done
Yeah,
for too long. And Bryce's 2024 fastball, if you look by pitch value, is like one of the best we're ever going to see. He
it was
basically didn't have another pitch.
no, it was a pretty incredible fastball.
Yeah,
He was like Logan when Logan came up, except his fastball was better.
right.
Oh man, I don't know what direction to go in now. Because I was probably going to take his fastball. And what if my 2 picks? I have my breaking pitch, Randy Johnson's slider. I think since there's not a ton of these available, I'm going to take Hisashi Iwakuma's splitter.
Nice.
Man.
Nice. That was on my list.
Because I didn't get one of you guys got changeups in the first round, and I need an off speed. And what a beautiful pitch that was.
Hisashi was awesome.
He's underrated.
One of the
How
most
good he was.
underappreciated Mariners of the last ever. Like, I love him.
Yeah, he was incredible. And now I'm in a tough spot.
That's tough.
But I think I'm gonna take oh God. I think I'm gonna take Luis Castillo's sinker.
No, that was my next pick. God damn it.
Look, if Tyler will only go righties, we take all the righties off the board.
Oh, there you go. Tyler made this game harder for himself on purpose. So Luis Castillo is off the board.
So here's the thing. His sinker, how many lefties do you have that actually have good sinkers in Mariners history? Nobody?
I literally can't think of one that threw a
No,
good
there's
sinker.
literally, I went back through history and I could not find one.
Did Marco Gonzalez not throw a sinker? He was
I
cutter
mean,
four
he
seam.
had a sinker. It was mostly
Can you
cutter
call
though.
it good?
Yeah, I guess he had a changeup. That satisfied that requirement for him, I guess.
So my alrighty thing, like sinker, is like really important.
There's a couple more out there.
All right.
I mean,
Here we go.
Iwakuma
But
had the other top tier
He
sinker.
he
from what I
did.
looked at.
Felix had a
Yeah,
pretty
he
decent
did.
sinker
But
too.
here's I'm gonna throw this back because so I already took Felix's changeup, which is my favorite pitch of all time.
Yeah.
Freddie Garcia, two-seam
Ooh,
fastball.
I had that one as my next sinker if I didn't get Luis's.
Yep.
Good pick.
The Chief, man.
Yeah, I
He
never. I
was
wish I
so
got to watch him pitch.
he was so good.
Yeah, he was kind of a load bearing guy in that rotation for them
Yeah.
after Randy departed.
I mean, he came in the trade for Randy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because and then how long was he on the team? 6 years.
So yeah, he was 99 to 04, and then the trade for Ben Davis and Jeremy Reed did not work out well. But it's fine.
It happens.
All right, Sean, you're up.
I am up. I don't know where to go. Still a fastball to take.
Yeah, you still need one fastball at least.
I also have no idea what to do. Okay. I'll figure it out. There's really two options here, I think. I'm going with Kirby's fastball.
Okay.
Oh,
All
you
right.
took Kirby.
All right. Took Kirby away from Tyler.
Yep.
You were gonna take his knuckleball, weren't you, Tyler?
No, it wasn't. But
Uh,
Kirby's fastball also is not good, actually.
He throws it hard, and I'm gonna also say the location comes along with it.
That's why I'm annoyed. It's not because you took the pitch. It's because it's actually not that good.
Yeah, it should be better than it is, but he can dot it up though. All right, you've satisfied all your requirements, Sean, so you can go crazy on your last two.
oh boy. Well, I don't have much left on my list for what I researched. Um, with all these pictures gone, so I'm between two minds here. Part of me wants to take someone because I just want to put his name on this list because I had to watch him for a number of years. Another guy that I think the pitcher's actually good, but it's kind of boring. I think this guy will come back to me maybe. So I'm going to go with Paxton's fastball.
No, that's the
Oh,
best one.
piss.
It's one of the best pitches in Mariners history.
I was hoping that was coming back to me because
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the maybe the best four seam on the board.
All right, all right.
Sean,
So
did you take Kirby's two seam or four seam? Sinker or four seam?
I took his four seam.
Okay. So you took Paxton's four seam as well.
Yeah, is that legal?
I mean, you do whatever you want.
Okay.
so when I was doing my lefty situation, I actually put Paxton fastball and Randy's slider. I actually took Paxton fastball over Randy's fastball.
It's an incredible fastball.
Yeah. I think
It was
Randy's slider is the reason
Damn you, Sean.
mostly, but Paxton's fastball is nuts.
And I almost didn't go with it because I wanted to pick someone else, but I think the person I have left might make it around, but also maybe not. Also, I'm looking. Paxton's fastball was like really good just for the Mariners.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
towards like the end, like
until he started to get hurt, huh?
Yeah, Paxton.
yeah.
My favorite thing about Paxton and his fastball is that the reason he ended up figuring out his arm slot is because he slipped on a pickoff move. And they're like, that looked really good. And he's like, oh, should I throw it in that arm slot? And they're like, yeah, try it. That's ridiculous. Like, how this is a $11 billion industry now, and that's
Yeah.
how you find players? Like, just the dumbest.
Yeah. I think Paxton's curveball was on my list too.
Curveball was nice. All right. So I'm still sticking to righties, but I might break my rules for my fifth pick. But for my fourth pick, Doug Fister slider.
Oh my god.
Stir.
Doug Fister's slider. Okay. Nice.
So Doug Fister was traded from the M's in 2011 at the trade deadline, and he was shoving. I want you to go look at his Fangraphs page, and I want you to look at how many sliders he was throwing at the time. Because this dude was spamming his best pitch before every team was like, just throw your best pitch.
What year?
2011. My high school graduation, where the Mariners were 41-41 and then lost 17 games in a row.
Jeez. God.
So they traded Doug Fister.
I didn't even think. I was thinking, I always think of his sinker, really, when I think of Doug Fister.
Doug Fister was throwing 50% sliders.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, really ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, 45%. Oh, okay. That's
And look at his pitch value too.
Jeez. That's crazy work by Doug.
And that was in 2011.
Yeah.
Like this is not even
Incredible.
like modern baseball in a lot of ways. Like this dude was just spamming his slider. So Luis Castillo's off the board. This is the best slider in the world. It was basically a gyro.
Yeah.
And Fister was incredible. Look at his WAR. Fister is one of the best Mariners pitchers of all time.
It's disgusting.
That's a take.
That doesn't feel right. That feels unnatural.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Ugh, it's terrible. Okay, I have my final two picks, and then you guys have one more. Tyler, that was your breaking pitch, so you now can pick whatever you want in the final slot.
Yeah.
I was gonna take Paxton's fastball. I was hoping that came back to me, and I think now I'm just gonna do the easy thing and take Brian Woo's fastball.
Nice. Yeah, that works.
Bye-bye, Woo.
Seems obvious to me to do that, and then
I'm surprised it lasted this long.
I am too. I thought you were gonna take it, Tyler, frankly, but you took Bryce Miller's. And now my final pick. I don't have like a curveball or anything, but I don't think I want a curveball. I have Randy Johnson's slider and Hisashi Iwakuma's splitter. That feels good enough. So I'm gonna take Cliff Lee's cutter.
God damn it.
Cliff Lee.
Who was very good with his half a season with the Mariners.
He only pitched 2 months.
And he was very good.
How
He was damn good. All right. That's why I feel good enough about taking that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Back to you, Tyler.
All right, so Kirby's been taken. Felix has been taken.
Mhm.
Castillo, Bryce, Woo, Paxton, Randy, Lee,
Freddie Garcia.
Garcia,
Doug Fister.
Doug Fister. Yeah, I took Freddie and Fister.
Yeah. And Jamie Moyer.
And Jamie Moore has been taken. All right. So I looked up on Fangraphs, and apparently Jamie Moyer threw a cutter, so I can't take that anymore. But let's just think about that.
He did, apparently. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if he threw everything at some point.
So,
he played for 30 damn years.
So I now, just because I don't want to do any other research because it's 9:00, I'm going to take a lefty. And everyone's going to hate me for taking him.
No, my last
he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Eric Bedard curveball.
I knew you were going to take that. I had that on my list because it was a great pitch.
It was a really good pitch.
Of course. Oh my God.
I thought he'd come back to me.
That's incredible. I was hoping so bad he'd end up on this list.
Unbelievable.
It was the one pitch from him. I was like, I have to take it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
That's a really good pitcher now.
Okay, I can round us out with a good one, though. I had one backup.
All right.
That I honestly think is quite a good backup now that I'm actually looking into it. I based this off of memory because this is a pitcher that I watched a lot of for the M's because I was at home during that time.
So it's not Aaron Seeley.
No. I'm going with a changeup. Can you guys guess whose changeup it is?
Ooh, is it Jason Vargas?
It is Jason Vargas's changeup.
Oh, also on my
Jason
list.
Vargas changeup. Let's go.
John, your pitch mix is disgusting. You have Jamie Moyer and Jason Vargas's changeup,
Yep. Look
which, to
out.
be fair, different
Those would be
velocities.
very different velocities going
That's
there.
honestly, yeah, that could work.
When I
JC,
was looking into all this stuff, I was like, the Mariners have had some very good changeups, but they
they
haven't had
have.
a lot of good breaking balls.
No, not a ton of good breaking balls. No.
Yeah, Seeley's curveball was on my list. He was the other like what appeared to have a good breaking ball.
That was
But
so Freddie Garcia also had a good curveball.
yeah,
I remember
Joel,
Freddie Garcia's curveball a lot because of how he threw his pitching motion.
oh sure, yeah.
If I remember, his was like really like top down, right?
Yeah, it was. And he also is just he looks like someone who you wanted to be on the mound. Like he looked good throwing pitches.
Aesthetically, yeah.
Yeah, whereas Eric Bedard, I wanted to throw him off a cliff.
There were other
Yeah.
circumstances behind him. Okay, it wasn't just how he looked. It was because he was Canadian.
Yeah, but his curveball also slapped. It
Yeah,
was really good.
yeah, yeah. The Marco Gonzalez's changeup was also very good.
Yeah, it's just a lefty changeup world.
They've had plenty. I think
Jared Washburn was my last pitch that I had left. Jared Washburn.
Jared Washburn.
Only one on my list not taken.
I had the Seeley curveball.
Cliff Lee, even though he was only there for a little bit, is
yeah, he was damn good. They didn't get anything for him, but he was good.
He put up 7.5 WAR or something that year.
Oh. And
he only pitched like 180 innings, like something like that. Like,
and Philip Almont was not good for the Mariners. So I think he was one of the guys who came back in that trade.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Almont? Yeah, it was.
No.
What was it?
Almont was an 06 draft pick. And here's where, Matthew, you are too young.
Oh, they traded for Cliff Lee with Almont is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to be like, oh, I'm old enough to remember this.
I mean, I fully memory hold Cliff Lee being on the Mariners. So,
I mean, he was only there for 3 months and a Sports Illustrated cover. So,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm finding who he got traded for because now it's bothering me.
Justin Smoke.
Was it really Justin
Smoke-a-motive?
I can't find it.
I think it was Justin Smoke, Josh Lukey, and someone else.
Trade fell through with the Yankees. Rangers swooped in, reached an agreement to trade Justin Smoke, Blake Bevan, and Josh Lukey.
Yeah, there you go.
One other prospect for Lee. Lee was going to go to the Yankees for.
I forgot about.
Get this, Jesus Montero.
Nice.
And the Mariners ended up getting him anyway.
I forgot about Blake Bevan.
Yeah, Blake Bevan, a ball player for sure. Could play baseball.
I don't want to remember Jesus Montero, to be honest. I don't know.
Also sad. R.I.P.
Didn't Jesus Montero just die?
Yeah. Rip.
Really?
Rip.
Jeez.
Yeah. Only the RBI in Felix's perfect game too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's recap. Let's recap what everyone netted out to. Sean, you took Jamie Moyer's changeup.
Yep.
Gilbert's slider.
Yeah.
George Kirby and James Paxton's four-seam fastballs, and rounded it out with Jason Vargas's changeup.
Feeling pretty good.
That is the weirdest pitch arsenal of the three for sure.
This is also the most Sean is a left-handed person.
Yeah, lefty bias in there. Yeah, seriously.
When I briefly pitched, my changeup was my best pitch, so I think it makes sense.
Tyler, you have Felix Hernandez's changeup, Bryce Miller's fastball, Freddie Garcia's sinker, Doug Fister's slider, and Eric Bedard's curveball, which is nasty. Nasty business having his name on here, but that's a good arsenal. I like that. I have Randy Johnson's slider, Hisashi Iwakuma's splitter, Luis Castillo's sinker, Brian Wu's forcing fastball, and Cliff Lee's cutter. And those are the arsenals. And that was really fun. And that was the extent of pitchers that I think I was expecting to hear. I think there was 20 guys I thought who could conceivably like end up on this list.
Yeah, it's not a great as most of the Mariners' history is. You only have so many guys.
And we took the entire current rotation except for Emerson Hancock too, which speaks to how good they've been the past half decade.
Oh yeah.
Like, and no one took Emerson Hancock's newfound sweeper this
I guess
year.
I could have done that instead of another changeup or a fastball, but no.
It's not as fun.
Look, I think the Vargas changeup and the Moyer changeup can just play off of each other a bit. You're not really going to know which one's coming in.
Weirdly, they do. That does work. Honestly, I think that could work.
I think hitters would get so frustrated that they just like stop trying to hit. They'd be like, "What the hell are we doing?" Like,
no one has quite done that in real life yet. The two changeup strategy, different speeds. Logan has he has a splitter changeup combo, but yeah, no one's doing back-to-back changeups. Maybe that's the new thing. Okay. Well, that was really fun. I think we need to probably cap it there, but this was great. Thank you, fellas, for coming on again and talking at Mariners ball. We'll have to do it again. I want to do like a reliever version of this Arsenal draft, which it's a can of worms, but I think it could be really fun because we could have only 3 pitches and you'd really have to think about your best 3 pitches.
Hasagawa is first draft.
Yeah, Gerson Batista's fastball is number 1 on my list.
Gerson Batista, come on.
Fernando Rodney, here I come.
Okay.
Brandon Lee can't be drafted. That's the one rule.
No. Yeah, we'll have a couple on the no draft list in that, which I should have made one for this and put Eric Bedard on it, frankly. But I did not.
I'm sorry, I broke the seal.
That is fine. Eric Bedard.
Look, Tyler, if you didn't do it, I was gonna do it. So. that was gonna round out a pitch mix that made a lot more sense, but
you couldn't resist. Simply couldn't resist. Okay. I hope all of you out there have a great rest of your week. The Mariners are back at home to start the month of May. Brendan Donovan is coming back off the IL, thank God. And we'll see if they can capitalize on the momentum and actually go over 500. But thank you both for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And, of course, I'll leave everyone with a Go Mariners.